hawk is literally 15 feet away from me. Alright, chat, this is a trip, man. I came in here and this hawk was sitting on a fence post like 70 or 80 feet away from me. And I'm getting ready to go live, and he starts walking right towards me. And it turns out there was a bird that it hit sitting right in front of my van. Yeah, he might be injured. I don't know. He didn't fly over there. He just walked over right towards me. I feel like Marlon Perkins. I think he ate a bird. It didn't take him long either. He's after me. He is kind of dragging that wing. What's up, Carrie? So how's everybody doing? God always puts on a little show for me, it seems like. Visit from a hawk. One of God's nature, yes. now, silly. Toby Keith's restaurant had a fried bologna sandwich. Rest in peace, Toby. Well, that was wild. I think he is dragging that wing. He's injured or something. When I saw him, though, he was sitting up on a fence post that was about 4 feet off the ground, so... I think he's able to get away somewhat if a dog would get it. There's not really any dogs around here, though, in this particular area. See if he catches a mouse. Well, anyways, today is Saturday, February 10th, 2024. This is J6 News Updates and Chat. I don't know who I would call their wild one. And does not one sparrow not fall from the sky without God knowing it? This is just nature. I'll show you where he's at here. He's in a giant field. It's like an old folks community over there. Nobody's allowed to own a dog over there. He's across the street from a shopping center. So this is a pretty safe place to be with a busted wing. And whatever it will be, right? PA Game Commission, I don't know. There's a lot of room here. Maybe he can heal that wing up. I think he's gonna be all right. He just had lunch. There's the pile. It's a little bird or something. Yeah, Julius, it was a red-tailed hawk, man. Oh no, you had a raccoon up in your attic, Nova. So anyways, he's out here in this field, okay? This is a big field here. There's nothing gonna sneak up on them here, you know. Raven Ridge in Washington Borough. All right, here's where chat can help. We do a chat rescue. Kathy, I know it's nice to help all the animals, but man, I've seen some animal rescues going bad. I watched a gal rescue an owl about a year ago, and the owl was definitely, something was wrong with it. Its feathers were falling out and stuff, and she put it in her car. And then was driving all over the place, making all these phone calls. Nobody wanted to take the owl because it had like mange or something like that. I don't know. What's silly with the link? Look at that. Washington Borough is about, I don't know, 20 minutes from here. Yeah, I'm Amish doom looped. Well, if somebody's interested in making the call, I'm going to be here for a half hour doing a J6 updates. I'll give you the location here. I'm at the intersection of Landis Valley Road and Oregon Pike. If someone wants to make that call, I can't make the call because I'm using the phone on the stream here, but I'll hang out if somebody says that they're going to come. And I'll keep an eye on him. I mean, he's not flying. He's still just walking around in the field there looking for something to eat, I think. That's cool, man. God makes the most coolest things happen. So how's everybody doing today, man? There is a lot going on. I got on the YouTube just to see what was going on, and like Master Grifter's got a thing going on. Oreo's got a rally going on. There's a rally going on up in Ottawa or Canada somewhere. There's just a lot going on right now. Yeah, if somebody wants to make that call, I'm game. Let's do it. Let's rescue the red tail. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody earlier, ACB, said that they're challenging rivals for mates right now. So maybe that was something that happened. It did have a fresh kill just sitting here. So somehow or another, maybe he hurt himself getting that bird he just ate. I don't know. Like Chris Quaglin, just hurt his limb for a while, wrestling around or whatever. Oh, hey Tina, hello Lisa McNeely, Gene Shannon, ACB, Julius, Doom Looped, Kathy, hello. Hello Sylvia. Ramping up for the birthday weekend. I love it. Hello, Nova. Sherry Thomas. All right, Patriots. Good to see you all here. It's awesome. Awesome. February 17th, convoy to Ottawa. That's going on soon. Trump just got done speaking in South Carolina. I saw that. What else, man? all kinds of stuff going on. It feels like things are moving, but sometimes I just get tired of waiting for the FJB show to end. We're at day 1130 already, and it's just ridiculous, So let's hit the Freedom Corner notes here. Last night was Vigil number 558 in Washington, D.C. at the Gulag, where they're holding political prisoners for standing up for their First Amendment right on January 6, 2021. Currently, there are over 200 incarcerated J6ers right now. Our chat friend Lee, he counted the names the other night. He told me there was 214 names on that list. And that we all knew that list was getting longer and longer. So last night, Sherry started off with a prayer. And then Nicole got on the microphone, was telling us about Visitation Day. Yesterday was Friday, which is the day that a lot of the guys get their visits. And we had one especially great visit yesterday where Taylor John Atakis' wife traveled all the way over from the West Coast to visit yesterday. They had a great visit, man. And Taylor was super thankful to be able to finally see his wife. Nicole was also talking about how this destroys families, and shared with us another part of her journey, her J6 journey, and told us that when Guy was first arrested, she was not even able to see Guy for 14 months. Can you imagine just all of a sudden one day you get your house raided, they take your husband away or your wife away, and you don't get to see them face to face? You don't get to see their face. They didn't have video visits. They didn't have nothing for 14 months. That's in America. This is America we're talking about here. And we're so compassionate, but yet we treat people like that. We don't even treat murderers like that, you know. We don't even treat sex offenders like that. It's horrible, man. I mean, the treatment that these J6ers are getting is totally out of control, man. Out of control. And I gotta believe that most Americans, if they only knew about this, would be outraged. And the fact that it just seems most Americans don't know about it, because that's the mainstream media for you. The lying mainstream media and the government. They're all allowed to lie to you. So that's what's going on there. All right, and then our first phone call we got was from Chris Quaglin. He was on the phone with the Northern Neck Patriots down in Virginia. They also had a vigil last night. Every Friday night they've been holding a vigil there. And they were talking with, they get a lot of phone calls also. And Chris just gotten off the phone with them, and then he called Freedom Corner. So he's making the rounds on the vigil calls, that's for sure. Chris Quaglin also mentioned that he's finally got his knee surgery scheduled. So we'll believe that when that happens. Nicole got on the microphone again. It was talking about this trial that they're following in the courts in D.C. there. It's the Pollock family. Apparently this one's new to me, but there's 3 people in this family going through trials right now. I think one of them's named Elvidia, and then Ben, and another one that I didn't get their name to. And Nicole was saying how pleased she was to meet them, that these people are very close to her heart, because they came up from Florida when Guy Raffett was going through his trial, one of the first trial in the J6. Guy was the first guy. And how touched that Nicole was that the Pollock family came up there just to pray with her while a guy was on trial there. Drove all the way up from Florida. Well, now they're on trial, and Nicole and Tammy are sitting in on their court cases and reporting about it to us at the Freedom Corner there. And then, so Chris Quaglin's first call was only a 5-minute call. There's something about Friday, they get a free 5-minute call or something. And then Chris called back again and was going on, just going on, man, going on about the condition of this country, the wars that were being, wars that are being like threatened upon us. You know, if we don't let Congress get the money for whatever they want to do, they're going to have a war. They're going to send your kids to war. They're going to start the draft up, man. Tina McCloy says 3 members of the same family. Yes. Lisa McNeely. Yeah, Kenneth Harrelson has been placed into a halfway house, as far as I know. That was reported to me, and Jen for Freedom is the scoop on all that stuff. Okay, there we go. Olivia Pollock, Jonathan Pollock, and cousin Joseph Hutchison. 3 people in the same family, man. I remember meeting a family there when we first started going to the Vigil, where they did the same thing. And what a patriotic family, man. Not just one person didn't just go to J6 to stand up against that fraud election. 3 people in this family were so patriotic. They drove all the way to D.C., invested their money, their time, their treasure into just standing up like we do in America. That's what we do here. And then they got the whole weight of the U.S. government, the whole Department of Justice coming down on their heads. It's a total outrage, man. Chris Quaglin was talking about nobody likes war. Why are we always talking about war? Trump was the only president in my lifetime that kept us out of wars. His disdain for war made him negotiate his way out of wars, you know? That's what a true deal maker is. Somebody who can avoid catastrophe. But these people that we have in power, they like war. For whatever reason. I don't know if they're sickos that just like to see people die, or if they make a lot of money off these wars and they don't care if people die. But war is no good. I'm all in favor of anything to avoid a war. And the fact that we have been quiet, we have not rose up against this tyrannical government that has cheated on an election, made it legal for the government to lie to us, all these policies that work against the people of this country. We haven't picked up arms, and we're not gonna pick up arms. But there will be a day if they pick up arms, it's gonna be nasty, and I don't want that. What? Not one bit, man. It is a spiritual war for the survival of our country, Tina. That's right. That's right. So even though there's a lot going on, sometimes I'm down, man, because it's like, just get us out of this scenario. And then we got this buffoon in the White House, man. Well, how much more embarrassed could we be about our president, man? And all the people that voted for this guy, where are they? Where are they now? Do they still endorse what this guy is doing in the White House now? No, they're all saying, well, I won't vote for him this time. I'm going to vote Trump this time. Well, go ahead and vote in your next fraud election. You know, see how that works out for you. We the people got to secure this election, and we got to have one-day voting, voter ID, paper ballots, and no machines. That's the only way this is going to work, and I'm not hearing anybody saying that. So, you know, that's the depressing thing. This isn't going to end. This is going to just keep on going. I didn't think we would last 8 years, 4 years with Obama the first time he won. Then he won again, and just it got worse and worse and worse and worse for 8 years. I thought for sure it was going to happen then, but it didn't. Nobody rose up against all the atrocities that Obama did. So I'm praying for this Pollock family. What a travesty. What a travesty, an American travesty. Trump's South Carolina crowd erupts in loud F. Joe Biden chants as protesters are removed. Yes! Yes! About time. About time. I think the hawk is still out there. Yeah, he's right over there. So instead of yelling, USA, USA, I think that's appropriate. Get this guy out of office. Get this guy out of office. They just didn't prosecute him for the crimes of keeping top secret documents that he acquired while he was a senator and a vice president because he's senile. So now he's allowed to be president. And when did being senile ever get you out of a crime? I just don't understand that. All right. InfoWars host Owen Schroyer is taking his free speech case to the Supreme Court. Go Owen, man. He didn't even go into the Capitol. They threw him in prison for 60 days. Outrageous, man. Outrageous. Okay, here we go. Debt for Freedom. We got Olivia Pollack. Here's her prisoner number, address. Give her a call, write her a letter. And there's her Give, Send, Go account. Thank you, Deb. Let's get Brandon to quit. LGBTQ. 25th Amendment steps in. Has the 25th Amendment ever been utilized in removing a president? I'm not sure on that, but I don't recall ever learning about anything like that. Yeah, praying for all our J6ers here, Tina. It's outrageous what's going on with them. Chris Quaggan also got into the Second Amendment argument too about how, these people have been trying to take our right to own, keep and bear weapons away from us, and I think it's the only thing that has kept us free, if we can call this freedom. I mean, technically we are free, and we can have weapons, but I don't want to have to pick them up to save our country. I would hope our country is so good and our framework and our Constitution is so good that we're not going to have to do that. I would hope. U.S. Marshal served Fannie Willis with papers. Okay. It is the Constitution, and it's worked for 248 years, I don't understand why all of a sudden the Constitution doesn't work. Well, I do understand why. It's because we're not following the Constitution. Okay, yeah, we're going to talk about this Butler Sheriff guy here. All right, let's just put J6 on pause. Butler County Sheriff offers disaster training to civilians in preparation for imminent terror attacks. Okay, I watched this thing. And I'm skeptical. I am skeptical. Because what this sheriff is saying is that he went and had a class with the FBI and the sheriffs of America, and they all went and listened to Christopher Wray talk. Who trusts Christopher Wray, okay? Is Christopher Wray telling us the truth? But this sheriff, he's all googly-eyed. He's meeting at the head of the FBI. And what do they want us to do? They want us to go to war. They've been trying to foment civil war in this country for years now. And I'm skeptical. All I know is have enough food for 2 or 3 weeks, have water, have your medicines ready to just stay in your house for a couple of weeks, because I think that's all it'll take to blow over. And if you're interested, get involved with one of these sheriff training things that this sheriff here is talking about. I would recommend you guys watch this video. There's something off about this guy. All right, did you notice this? He was sniffing all the time. I don't know. I just got to go with my gut instinct, and my gut instinct is this guy just got lied to, just bought it, hook, line, and sinker, and if they did tell him all this stuff, and then he gets on YouTube and says all of it, I mean, there's just something off about this, something off about it. But if my sheriff said, hey, we're going to start training people for disaster training, I would definitely get in on it, just so I'm in on it, just so I'm on the inside of that, and then I can make my own decisions as we go. But this sounds like something's not all up front with this story. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? The ones that watched that? Joe needs to be in an old folks home. Get this guy out of power. It's dangerous. He's been a national security threat since the day he acquired the White House, man. Yeah, Cleo, it sounded off to me. I don't know. I just take in information, react to it. My sheriff isn't here saying stuff like that. He's not starting up classes where he can, train people for some type of a disaster relief. But this guy is talking about the main thing that this sheriff in that article was talking about is cyber attacks. It's cyber security. So since we're all wound up with our phones and everything, we can't do banking without our phones. The only thing that they can really do is shut these phones off. And since we all got addicted to the computer, the internet, to accomplish everything, that leaves us very vulnerable, because it's real easy to take this away from us. And I was skeptical when computers first came out to get all wrapped up in it. My whole life doesn't revolve around this phone. And if this phone just doesn't work tomorrow, I'm okay. I'm okay if this phone shuts off. But I know there's a lot of people that will lose their mind, like that sheriff said. And those people live in cities, okay? So cities are the places to avoid right now. Yeah, keep the nuclear football away from Joe. I don't think he ever got his hands on that football. All right, then we just had the Tucker Carlson interview. Just talk, what happened there? Well, Obama's CIA went and started a civil war in a section of his country. That's what started. In 2014, when that happened, I was going, hey, what's our CIA doing down there starting a civil war over in Russia? Why are they doing that? Well, now we see why they're doing that. They want to set up a gigantic money laundering system. And in the meantime, thousands and thousands of Ukrainians are dying. And then we're supposed to support this? It goes against every fiber of my being that God gave me, Yeah, Lisa, we need to find our like-minded tribes to remain united. Yes, when the going gets tough, we hunker down and survive. That's right. And all it's going to do, they're going to take away the phones. I mean, that's inevitable. Maybe the cars won't work, electricity, all these things that they provided for us, that our Constitution and our freedom has enabled us to better our society with, are the only things that can really take away, Order out of the chaos. They will generate the chaos. That's right, Isabella. Yes. Hey, Ridgeline, how are you? Hey, Stormbringer, hello. Welcome, man. 125 million views. Okay, cool. I was hearing people were saying 500 million people are going to watch that. Well, they're not. They're not. More people still watch the Trump interview. Trump interviews are 270 million, so half the people. I think it was The Putin interview was hyped up a lot, and it was kind of a letdown to watch Vladimir talk about Russian history for a half hour, you know. Yeah, that's why I don't have an electric car, because that's going to, you know, if they do this EMP thing. So really, in the end, what is it? What, you know, fear him who can take your soul, not your body. That's what the scriptures tell us. Stay in the scriptures, man. It's valid information, even to this day, for what could potentially happen here. Just be prepared. Be a hard worker. All right, we got 2 ravens coming in. I hope they're not going to harass the hawk. Oh, wow, they just flew into the top of that barn. Oh, well. All right, I got distracted. Oh, this is great news. J6 hostage Isaac Thomas will be released from the DC Gulag Monday pre-trial. That's great news. That is great news. Isaac's like 21 years old, not meshing well, yet he's a Christian. He's a believer. That's great news, Sylvia. That is great news. That's Gateway Pundit. Awesome. Gene Shannon, I thought in some ways the sheriff was warning us, and in some ways he is playing us. I got the feeling something was off on that. So all right, I'm not the only guy then that was feeling that way. Okay, here's something that I realized too. Stormbringer, thank you. AI will change your texts to create division. Mark my words, it has happened to you. Okay, there you go. AI, you know, how are they? I don't know how many people have been arrested now because of what's on their phone, okay? Did they put that stuff on their phone, or was it put on their phone? Do you have control of what gets placed on your phone? Look at all the trouble a lot of the J6ers had about their social media posts in their trials. They used that to embellish the charges that they were being charged with too. So they used your social media posts to convict you. Electric military vehicles. This administration is doing everything they can to weaken our country right now. That's true. Oh man, that is such good news. Isaac Thomas is getting out of there, man. So I welcome the day we're getting rid of these phones again and just going back to an answering machine where you can walk away from it. Right, Julius, we got the deep fakes coming out. I mean, I'm seeing videos already where Sean Hannity is telling me about gold coins that Trump is selling, you know? I mean, it's crazy. And you can tell it's not Sean Hannity talking. They're moving his lips. They're taking a Sean Hannity broadcast. Everything on these phones is suspect, man, for sure. Okay, 2 U.S. members of Congress denied access to secretive federally funded migrant facility. Okay, we're censoring our Congress now. They can't read Gateway Pundit in their office, and they can't go look at what the government's doing on the border. This is all getting really outrageous. Really, really outrageous. Gateway Pundit, man. Yeah. Small water guy. I don't need AI to change my texts. Too many beers does that already. That's happened to me, yes. Wake up in the morning and go, what did I do? Okay. Russia has changed Russian TV on my credit card twice and had to get a new card. Credit card twice. Wow. So was that really Russia, though? Is what I'm wondering. You know, watching Vladimir Putin, I don't believe it. He wants to start any wars. I think that's our spooks that are doing it and making it look like Russia's doing it to us. I mean, they got to have that boogeyman of Russia over there to throw everybody into chaos and fear here, you know? I don't for 1 minute believe that's Russia doing any of that stuff. More smoke and beers, Ridgeline, that's right. Beer goggles, yes, Sylvia. They're calling good for evil. Yeah, good statement, Isabella. They're calling evil good and good evil, putting bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. That is so true. So true. Okay, we got Greg Kelly from across the pond. We watched Tucker over here. Why didn't he ask Putin about the Ukrainian children they had taken from Ukrainian mothers? Or why is he trying to overthrow an elected government the people chose? In 2014, there was a civil war, all right? That was not the Ukrainian people rising up there. That was our spooks, the CIA, instigating an uprising in Putin's backyard. Julius, I'm not so sure on that Putin's evil. Putin's been in power there for, what, 4 years now? Nearly 6,700 illegal alien encounters in one day this week. Over 1,000 of those in San Diego sector. How long can we put up with this? Putin did shut down the biolabs. What were they doing there? Why were there 90 U.S. biolabs in Ukraine, Greg Kelly? I wanted to post that Bible verse there, Sylvia. Thank you. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Awesome, awesome scripture. Isaiah, what is that? 3,500-year-old sayings that are relevant, totally relevant today. Everything is all by design, pre-planned. They tell us what they will do beforehand within predictive programming in the movies, right? It does seem odd that everything we've seen in the movies has happened. And look at the damage they've done to us, too. It's crazy. It is crazy. All right, I wanted to get to the next caller on Freedom Corner here. No, Julius, there were biolabs there. Victoria Newland. If you don't know who she is, you got to look up who she is. She's pretty much in charge of Ukraine right now, and she testified there were 85 U.S. biolabs in Russia. And the reason, or in Ukraine, I'm sorry. The reason they were in Ukraine is because they were illegal to have here. If it was legal to have those biolabs here, they would have been here, but it wasn't. Obama made them illegal. Chris Cragland, after talking about the Second Amendment for quite some time, that the FBI is going after militias and Christians and Catholics. You know, that's what they're spending their time on. Not any of these guys coming in over the border. No, we can't do that. They're going after the Second Amendment people. And then 2020 was rigged. That's all there is to it, man. The information was there before January 6th. That's why everybody stood up on January 6th. We weren't making this all up. Then the courts, we found out how corrupt the courts were when they kicked out all the cases about fraud, saying we didn't have standing. We don't have standing to question if the elections are legit. And that's the exact same thing these rhinos in Lancaster, Pennsylvania were saying 2 nights ago. Just ridiculing anybody who would even think of the preposterous idea that these elections weren't pure. And that's ridiculous. If I can't question something, then something's up. And that's what I gathered from that, you know. 2020 was rigged, and it will come out. And it is coming out on a daily basis. It's on trickle feed. Courts finding fraud all over the place. Fact, 51 secret intelligence agencies signed a letter that said the Hunter laptop was Russian disinformation. Do you see how that works? That has been totally proven to be hogwash, and those 51 secret intelligence agents knew damn well that wasn't Russian disinformation when they put that letter out. That alone is election interference, man. Okay, here's the link to the Twitter Tucker Carlson interview with Douglas McGregor. No, I haven't seen that yet. That's on YouTube. Yeah, they're going to use the machines in Georgia, the state of Georgia. That's right, Julius. And they're not putting the patch in to fix it. It's another rigged election heading our way, unless we the people do something about it. There is something nonviolent that we can do. We can insist that they do one-day voting, one voter ID, paper ballots, and no machines, okay? We can insist on that. If 50 million people say there's something's going to happen in this country, believe me, it's going to happen. Hey, Maggie McKenna's are in. All right, I haven't seen you in a couple days. Good to see you. Yeah, we got to get rid of the paper ballots. We got to get rid of the machines. The machines was another way that they falsified the results of that, man. Greg, I have not seen anything about a sniper at the border, no. But I'm sure they're going to put false information out like that. No doubt they're going to try to make false information about that. Okay. So our next caller. Oh, here we go. While we talk, here's how you can help me out, and I could use some help right now, Patriots. It's a P.O. box. It's the only thing I can handle because I am pretty much computer illiterate. I'll confess right now. I don't want to learn how to use a computer, and as soon as we're done fighting for freedom, I'm chucking this phone in a lake. So the only way that you have to donate to me would be through this P.O. box number. And I really would appreciate it. And I really appreciate those of you who have donated so far. Thank you very much. The next phone call we got was from a new guy, Doug Wyatt. I mean, he's only been in the Gulag in the C3A pod. I wasn't even sure he was in the C3A pod yet because he was just put into the DC Gulag like 3 days ago. But Doug Wyatt called, and he was talking about that crime bill that FJB passed back in the 90s. Remember when you could go to jail for 10 years for a piece of crack the size of a quarter? Remember that? Do you know what that did to the black community? It was devastating. That was devastating. And all the black people lined up and voted for Biden, because if you didn't vote for Biden, you ain't black, you know? So I hope these people are waking up now. I really, it is so obvious what's going on. And I hope they're waking up, and I hope they vote right in the next election. I hope we secure this next election and get true results out of this next election. Doug Wyatt was also talking about how they're trying to start chaos to cancel the election. That's one of their methods of operation, man. It was really cool to hear Doug Wyatt, man. I mean, he's been in there only a couple of days. He got right on that phone and is calling Freedom Corner, thanking us for standing up and then getting into the meat and potatoes about what's going on in this country. And Doug Wyatt also says that the cat's out of the bag with FJB. He's senile, he's old, he can't string a sentence together, he can't find his place in a notebook once he closes it. It's obvious, folks, it's obvious. We have a buffoon behind the desk in the White House. What are we going to do about it? And when are we going to do it? Yeah, the sniper story, you know, how easy is that to make up? Here's Douglas Wyatt. So, new guy at the Gulag, new guy in C3A pod. It'd be nice if he got some letters. Oh, right on. Dead for Freedom is uploading Doug Wyatt's call now. Should be up by Vigil time. Great. Are you making shorts again, Deb? Right, back in action with the shorts. Dead for Freedom's got his channel, and she clips the phone calls, cleans up the sound, makes them look pretty, and then you got a nice little 15-minute video with just the phone call on it. I love your shorts on the phone calls, Deb. They really help me out, because I gotta back stuff up and try to listen to it again. I still didn't get new earbuds. It's horrible. Some things about getting old suck. Okay, and then we finally got a call from Taylor Jonatakis, and Taylor's wife was at Freedom Corner yesterday. They got a visit yesterday, and what the most shocking thing I got out of this whole conversation was that while Taylor's wife was in the processing to get her visit, one of the guards, one of the employees at that Gulag slapped her on the rear end and started making comments to her about, you know, made advances on her. And I just can't believe that is allowed, that the other people that worked at that prison allowed that, saw that happening, allowed that to continue, and didn't say anything about it. This is outrageous. This is another form of psychological torture that these prisoners are going through, man. Whoever did that to her needs to be fired immediately. And it's all got to be on camera. So I'm suggesting that's our next call to action, is call that prison up and say, you know, who are you employing that you allow to behave that way, man? Hey, Mama Earth, hello. Yeah, Dead for Freedom, you got it going on with those phone call shorts there. Good to see you, Mama Earth. And then Taylor was also saying about be the solution. This doesn't just go away. The government's not going to call itself out. The government isn't going to like reconcile itself and fix everything that is wrong with it. We the people got to be this change. We have to be this change for sure. Yeah, back to work, Deb. And we've just been getting so many phone calls at Freedom Corner. It's awesome. It is awesome. I can remember the old Freedom Corner days when we get like 2 phone calls a night. And now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 phone calls we're getting pretty much every night, regularly. So John Attaka says, be the solution. And then he's a political science major, I believe. And oh, okay, so let's see. Deb for Freedom. I also put Marie John Attakis' link to her website page on forashley.com. Awesome. If you haven't checked out forashley.com website lately, check it out, because Deb for Freedom just did a bunch of work on it. It's looking really good. It's easy to navigate, and there's a lot of stuff on there. Is that the peasant's perspective? Yeah. And I think her name is Marie John Attakis, and Taylor's website is called Peasant's Perspective. Taylor was also saying how the word government, literally in Latin, means mind control. Govern and ment means control of the mind. But humanity is not inherently good, so we do need a restraint on the wickedness of humanity, and that's what government is supposed to be used for, to create life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all. The weak and the poor are the ones who need to be protected, basically. After Taylor was up, we got his wife got on the microphone and just shared a couple things with us. It was really awesome hearing from her. I'm really stoked that she came down to Freedom Corner and got to meet, Stormtrooper and Sherry and Nicole and Tammy and Rebecca, just got to see firsthand what's going on there at Freedom Corner, because it's a push to do that there every night. It's not fun. We make the best of it, or they make the best of it, but it's not fun being down there in the sewer. Here's a link to Jonathan and his essays and stuff. And he writes really, really good stuff. He's got good books that he's been reading and turning us on to. He was just yesterday 2 days ago, talking about the book Animal Farm, which is a book that I'd like to, check out and read if I have any spare time lately. So at the end of the night, we had Jeff Sable call up. They did an awesome national anthem, form of protest right from the bowels of the DC gulag every night. All them people got to listen to them guys not being demoralized and still singing their national anthem with pride every night. That's one way to stick it in the face of the tyrants. And one obvious sign that God has given these guys strength to endure all the punishment, all the torture, all the psychological manipulations that they're trying to pull on these guys. And then they got into the topic, Jeff Sable got into the topic of the migrants, how they're given Social Security cards, how they're given the phone, given the bus ride, given the hotel rooms and places to stay. We don't even treat our own citizens like that. This is just ridiculous what's going on with that. And sooner or later, the money that they're giving the migrants is going to run out. And what are they going to do? What are the migrants going to do when they don't get a check next time? What's going to happen? I can only think bad things are going to happen when that happens. And that's right around the corner, Patriots. Democrats have filed a complaint with the FEC against RFK Jr. to stop him. I don't know what's going on with that. Of course, the Democrats want to squelch RFK Jr. because he's going to take votes away from whatever person they run. Okay, Jeff Sable was also saying about this documentary called Selection Code, which is on Tina Peters' website. And I'm not sure if I watched it or not. I mean, I've seen as many of them as possible, so I'm thinking I saw this one, unless it's brand new. And I've seen enough. I know what happened on January 6th, and we are now fighting the fight to bring justice for Ashley Babbitt's murder, for Roseanne Boylan's murder, and all this is on film. You know, it's all right there. It happened. It was unjust. It was unlawful, and that's what we're fighting for. But if you want to see more about J6 and what a farce it is, check out Selection Code on Tina Peters' website. Yeah, you voted for it. That's right. That's what I say. Have at it, cities. Go for it, you know. Look at them crying for Trump to come talk in the Bronx. Look at them crying for Trump to come talk in Chicago. I'm getting sick of waiting for these people to wake up. And I'll tell you what, from what I'm seeing them say, they're not woke yet. They are only... they just looked into the hole. They looked into the rabbit hole. They didn't even jump in it yet. And they got a long way to go, and it ain't going to happen in time. It ain't going to happen in time, that's for sure. Okay, J6 attorney Roger Roots weighs in jury awards. Professor Michael Mann, $1 million in climate defamation trial. Yeah, that Roger Root, man, he's a smart dude. He came down to the corner a bunch of times. He's representing J6s. He represented the Bundys back when that happened. Got the government to pay out, $250 million in settlements for people involved with the Bundy incident out west. So we just got to keep at it, Patriots. We got to just keep at it. It's a good thing we all got off the sofa. We're all doing stuff right now. I highly recommend this Bill Blaster app. I keep saying about it, but man, does it make it easy. You see a news article about something on one of your news feeds, and you just swipe your phone, look up the guy's number, beep, hit a button, and leave a message. It's awesome, man. It makes it so easy. So easy. Well, that was a good session, Patriots. Started off with a little wildlife moment there with the hawk eating the bird over here. I don't know where he went now. And the animal rescue people didn't show up, so God's got this. I do know that God wanted us to see that for some reason, though, because that was just too weird, man, that hawk just started walking right towards me. I threw him a little piece, just so you know, I threw him a little piece of peanut butter sandwich over there while he was sitting on that tombstone, and he didn't eat it, so he must be full. I think he's okay. I think he'll be all right tonight. The article said he had it all planned out and booby traps and such. All right, there's just a lot going on. Canada has lawsuits against Health Canada for unconstitutional COVID lockdowns. Finally, that's coming around. Okay, that's 3 years ago that happened, and finally that's working its way through the courts. All the health benefits, there's all kinds of information coming out on the COVID stuff right now. It just gets old when you see something going on and it happens and you know it's not right. Like the lockdowns for COVID, and just when does it get resolved? Well, it takes 4 or 5 years to resolve itself through the court systems. In the meantime, if we don't stand up, they never end. Well, no, I didn't help him. I mean, he had a dead bird laying right here. He just walked. I just happened to park near it, and that's why he walked towards me. But that was weird. That was so cool. I'm glad God showed us that, man. Okay. All right, and what we have here is globalists trying to take over our country, okay? They have many different ways of doing it. We got to get back to our villages. We got to get back to our local people, where when you spend your money, you're giving it to your neighbor. You're not giving it to a CEO that lives in, has got an offshore account in the Bahamas, you know? We got to get more and more back to that. We've gotten lazy over the last 50, 60, 70 years here. And we've accepted this form of consumerism from the globalists. And the only reason that they got us all addicted to it was so that they could take us over eventually. So we got to get back to that. We got to get back to buying tomatoes from the farmer down the road, buying eggs from that person, get the milk from that guy. All the people in your neighborhood. Get your clothes made by people that are here instead of going to Target so they can sell transgender pride stuff for your toddlers. You know, they did this on purpose. They had a long plan ready to go, and they have instituted it, and we're seeing the fruits of their labor. But I hope that we have enough wherewithal to resist this and stay free in America. Okay, game called on count of darkness, Patriots. I'm going to be at the Freedom Corner Vigil through the interweb here. I'll be modding on Sapphire Patriots channel. If you want to drop in and say hi, I'd appreciate that. And we'll be back again tomorrow with some more J6 news updates and chat. So God bless you all, Patriots. Signing out. This is Jericho, over and out.